Hey everybody, it's December 10th, the morning market rundown here. Let's dive into some price action. So we could see on 2 days ago, we made a new all-time high, and we've been getting some profit taking yesterday into this VWAP from this recent swing low when we broke this high. So we're looking to see if this 604 level continues to hold here, or if we get some more profit taking down into the 602.70 area. Okay. So I'm monitoring maybe a little bounce back up into this 2-day VWAP, a 3-day VWAP, and seeing if this 604 can hold 602 and see if we can start to reclaim and then get going. So that's a potential scenario I'll be monitoring. If this level does break at the 602.80, I'm going to be monitoring this 598, just under 600. So perhaps maybe this bounces and this long position, we start to see that VWAP from Friday act as support. So we'll look at that here. This is back to the long situation, and then we can potentially maybe be setting up a stop in this area, right? And if this breaks the 602 area, I prefer 602 area, then perhaps instead of it rallying up and reclaiming, it rejects this 2-day VWAP, and we pull back down to this 598, 594, the election volume weighted average price, where you could see on the daily time frame. And if you watch the previous videos, we were looking for that reclaim of that, and that's what we got on 22nd of November. So this is the potential scenario I'm monitoring for the downside here. So if you were an aggressive trader, potentially on the break of that 602, you could look to participate, put a stop at 603.04, or stop, give it a little bit more higher stop at 605. We're breaking the 5-day moving average at this point. We'll be trading under, and then potentially could see a pullback and a reversion back to this 20-day moving average area, where you could see on the daily time frame is a key level of interest here, and the 20-day moving average. So let's get into the QQQ. Remove these drawings and just redo everything. This was our anchored from the election. So on the Qs, we could see here that we made a new all-time high, broke this band of resistance. So perhaps this level is going to want to now start to get tested and potentially act as support. Let this 20-day moving average continue to rise. Okay, and then as that happens, maybe we're going to see some more profit taking, pulling back. If we break that 519.70 level, looking to see if we could come back down into 512, maybe bounce back up, and maybe even see us undercut that a little bit, get to that election VWAP, and get going. So this is a potential scenario. Let's sync this up so we can see it up on our chart here. We'll sync this over there. So that's the recent low there. We'll put a VWAP at this low and in this gap, just to get us some areas here. We'll sync these up so we can see it on the other side as well. So here, a little handoff right here. So here's our gap VWAP. This is our month-to-date VWAP here on the 30-minute chart. So if we break that month-to-date VWAP chart, perhaps we're going to come back and see this gap fill, undercut this 517 VWAP down to 514, maybe start to reclaim. That's what we talked about, this area, reclaim this area and get going. If we continue to hold this band of support, giving the benefit buyers the doubt. Even if we undercut this a little bit and then rally back above, that 5-day moving average won't start declining until we start to trade underneath this data. So the potential scenario I'm looking for is monitoring a break of 521, pull back into this 517, 514 area to this VP, and this prior band of resistance could potentially act as support and maybe get going again. Now, if we rally back up, continue to hold this month-to-date 520 area, perhaps start frustrate shorts, we start to rally back above, reclaim, and then start to get going. That could be a potential scenario, very similar to what we discussed on the SPY, is where Friday's VWAP then starts to act as support. And that gives us evidence that the sellers are losing control from the all-time highs and buyers are continuing to step up. So maybe perhaps we get this rally up into this 523 area, start to push off up to 520, 339 with a stop under 522.30. If you like these morning market rundowns, I think they're helpful. Please like and subscribe.